Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor, week 28 of the 2021-2022 PGA season. The AT&T Byron Nelson, 1 week away from my home state hosting the PGA Championship. But I think we have a pretty good tournament, a lot stronger tournament than we had last year here. Not sure if that's 100% due to how close, obviously, Dallas is to Tulsa, or just the week before major also helping it. But either way, looking forward to it. Should be a good week. Last week, recap that real quick. We'll get into this week. Not a lot of deep diving stuff this week. It's really anytime you get scoring fest, birdie fest, stuff like that, where putting and is enhanced. And I mean, John Rahm's deal. It's a putting fest type deal. Brings a lot of people in. I think more this week is about strategy, game theory, leveraging yourself versus the actual picking of which players. Now, the players obviously will matter, but anytime you're scoring like this and the course can be had, it definitely brings others in that maybe normally wouldn't, which is, I think, why Rahm was frustrated at times with some of his stuff I guess a couple months ago. Last week was all right. It was a pretty good week overall. Had a lot right. Did well. Just didn't. I mean, it was one of those weeks where Monday on the pod, loved Keegan, loved Homa. By Tuesday's pod, I guess it was, before I flew out, I was shocked at how high we, thinking that Keegan would be, and definitely didn't want to play a chalky Keegan. And Homa was getting more love than I anticipated on Monday. Got off both of them. Certainly hurt. Still had Cam Young. Definitely was heavy on him all week. Had a lot of the right pieces. I had, who was the other three? Leishman's blow up on Friday hurt. Cam Davis and Straka. Those three. I had a lot of 6-6s that I thought were still going to be alive, even with like 2 hours left, that those three really killed. Had a ton of 5-6s. I was like 3.5x the field on 5-6s, but did not get a single 6-6. And I got almost all my main slate money back, or close, probably about 60%, 70%. So having 0 6-6s, even though 6-6 was low, those one-offs, when you go look at the lineups, you're like, man, that's frustrating, but is what it is. Betting, I hadn't got to that yet. This is early, so this is later Monday night. I'm recording this. I'll have it out before I go to bed tonight. I have some traveling to do the next couple days, so I want to get this out early. Everything else will be on time. Nothing changes this week at all. I'm not flying anywhere, but definitely doing some traveling. So I know we hit the Cam Young 3-star on Saturday. It was one of my, I can't remember how many 3-stars I've done this year. Not many. It's a rare bet for me. Hit it with ease. That was a super easy bet. Had some Cam Young sweat there late. Thought he could get there, get us the W, get us a ticket, but another runner-up for us. And I need to calculate everything else. The 3-star hit, that should help a lot. Worst case, maybe a small loss, but maybe profit. I'm not 100% sure. Definitely we'll have that calculated by the time we do Wednesday, per usual. Some shout-outs on the week. Coach K turns $27 into over $2,000, taking down one of the $5 single entries. I think that was $1,000 to first. Great week there. He did play Homa and Bradley, so I liked him. I just didn't get there. Ownership type deal that happens some week. Landro 9 smashes round 4 again. Continues with that. Hunter, I saw him in a few contests I was in. He had a great week, and he almost won a FWGC ticket as well. A little shout out to Tommy Z. Smash Saturday night, turning $250 into $2,300 on UFC, and that is with Gaethje. So he had a hell of a lineup there. His big lineup that hit where you get Gaethje with very little points and still smash. So shout out to Tommy Z doing great work on UFC. Promos for this week and next week. PGA Champ will get you 30% off any package, includes a 7-day risk-free trial. We'll have tons of giveaways next week for the major championship here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Looking forward to that. Rate and review us on iTunes. When you do that, and or subscribe and like this video on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. Those will get you into all our free drawings next week. So get that knocked out right now. That gets you in there. Every time you do it, get you another entry on the comment section. On this week, tell me who you want to play in the 10K range. Very interesting 10K range this week. I want to see what the thoughts are there. Who's your favorite play there? I think you go several different ways. Small, there's only 4 guys there. So who do you want to play? Listener League, link is in the description. 300 this week. Let's fill it up super quick so we can get at least as big as the Masters next week. Maybe a hair bigger, see if we can get it full. 500 first, 3 max, limited rake, all that kind of stuff per usual. Last week's winner, Bubblegum 78, 447, Rory, Homa, Neesmith, Young, Damon, and Seifert. Man, Seifert was frustrating at times this week. He'd get on a run, then fall back, and get a double or something like that, which a lot of people did at this course. Definitely was a very tough course, tough track, tough conditions. Basically the same winning number we've seen there outside of the Molinari year. Congrats to him. He'll get the invite to the season-long championship as well. We are just north of Dallas, McKinney, Texas, TPC Craig Ranch, par 72, 7,500 yards, a little bit longer for par 72, 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s. I played this course a couple times. It is the thing that always stands out to me is the par 5s are gettable, no doubt, and that's where scoring will be had. Par 3s are long and hard. I think 4 of the top 7 holes here, difficulty-wise, are the par 3s. So that's really where you could mess up or have struggle a little bit. Rest of the course is pretty gettable. Last year, 78% of the stroke gain numbers for the top 5 that finished here came from approach and putting. It's kind of your easy way of a definition of, the birdie fest, the scoring fest, whatever Rom kind of said. I mean, when almost 80% of your stroke gain metrics come from your approach shot and putting, it definitely tells you, you got to have sharp irons and be able to hit putts. That's what this week's about. Off the tee is not going to matter as much. You certainly, length will happen a little bit, but being accurate, it's not horrible here. You can spread it a little bit. So it's definitely, it's a gettable track. You got to score on the par 5s. I think 85% of the top 20 last year in the tournament that finished were also inside the top 20 par 5 DK scoring. So if you don't score there, you're really behind the 8 ball. Georgia fairways, which are, awesome, beautiful to hit out of. Some of the best fairways you can find is Georgia, and several different courses around here have them. They're awesome. Bent grass greens once again. Last year you'll probably hear a lot about it. Rained, it poured. This course could play different. I don't think it's going to play that much different. That's really going to matter, to be honest with you. This course dries out well. It's been rainy here. I'm just north of it by about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Record rain a couple weeks ago. So it's not like we're in a dry streak here. Now, yes, having said that, I think Saturday into Sunday, we hit 90, 95 degrees. Heat index yesterday was 101. These guys that played Sunday in Maryland at 51 degrees, they're going to have a little wake up when they get to Dallas, Texas, either today or tomorrow. It's going to be a very hot week. Mid 90s all week. Heat index going to be humid because there's moisture in the air. It's just going to be hot. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. Guys aren't used to that. Definitely can factor a little bit. I don't think it's soft by any means. I think they will be a little firmer and faster and probably roll out some that we didn't see last year. But in general, I still think the course will play fairly similar and similar scoring as last year. I'm not really changing much, in my opinion, even though we had the ton of rain last year. It mattered, but there wasn't much during the actual tournament. And I think we'll see, your normal deal. So weather, like I said, it's going to be hot, humid, some winds, but nothing crazy, especially for down here. I think the cut will be -3, -4, and your winter is going to be -20, -21. KH Lee shot 25 under last year, 3-shot win over Burns. So I think that's going to be right about where we were. Your top 10 last year went from 18 under to 25. You had KH Lee, Burns, Kazire, Berger, Stallings, Shortle, Merritt, Bramlett, Vegas, Power, Redmond, Spieth. So kind of a mixed bag there. I don't think there's one, prototype that matters. You hate to say it because you're always like, well, how do you quantify that? And we've definitely, I've always brought putting into the, models and all that kind of stuff. It definitely, you can get a hot putter out of nowhere, but if you're not rolling the rock this week, you're not going to be up there. It's just simply put. The only person in the top 20 that lost strokes game putting last year was Willie Z. Shocker. So it's definitely difficult to be up there if you're not putting well. Now, these are pure bent greens, so, that'll help some, maybe. Willie Z got 17th and a lot. So it tells you how well he struck the ball, but I don't think you win unless you can at least gain strokes putting to some extent. So here we go. Stats I'm looking at this week. I'm keeping it simple. I'm looking at good drives, stroke gained approach, opportunities inside 18 feet, birdie or better, and then par 5 DK scoring. Obviously, I'll mix in recent form. I looked a little bit at the 1 year, last year stuff. There's 76 guys in this field that didn't play here last year. So it's really hard to gauge that as across the field. And the course fit model, I did pull in courses that I felt play like this, your easier scoring type stuff. And then putting. We'll look at some bent putting to see how people do there. It's not the end-all, be-all, no. But certainly does get a little more emphasis than most weeks this week. Because, just to get there. Some of these guys I'll look at, I'm like, can he really get to 20 under, 21 under, 18 under, especially if we're talking about the guys that we're paying up for to try to win this thing. Salary ranges, kind of a soft-ish, not major type, but ish a little bit. Only 4 10K guys, no one in 11,000, 7 9K guys, 8 8K guys, 42 7K guys. We hadn't seen that in a little while. And then 87 6K guys. So you have 19 guys right now priced 8,000 or more. The rest of the field is 7,900 or less. So definitely leads to different kind of unique builds, depending on how you want to go there. And the 8K range I'm not really fond of this week. Love the 7K range. a lot of 7K ranges this week. One theory I'll talk about a little bit later I'm building. I think you can make some great teams if you just kind of take those 49 guys. Well, you don't do 49, but your 9K range, most of them ones you love, and in 7K range, you can make some really good teams there that are kind of hybrid balanced. Certainly this week, Sweet 16 like normal. 3 favorite plays and a bubble boy. I'll get a fade of the week, sleeper of the week. Gut feel plays, betting top 5 that pop into long shots by prize picks. Then we'll get out of here. We'll call it a day. I'll be back Wednesday for final thoughts, deep dive, all that kind of stuff on the pod. Content schedule will stay the same this week. No changes. Normal week. I'll just be out and about traveling to some locations for most of the week, but it won't hurt my schedule at all. 9K and above, I'm gonna start with Neiman, $9,300, 7th in stats, 3rd in recent form ranking, okay at bent putting. Course fit, he's 2nd, coming in with the 35th at the Masters, 12th at RBC. Really kind of like everything about him. I love the price. I think it allows you to get a little more balance if you want to start there. Maybe it's a little too low, but definitely like it. Nothing hard to say about that. I think, he can score. He can get up there. 19th in birdie or better, 12th in good drives, 20th in approach, 12th in opportunities inside 18 feet. I think he's going to give himself a lot of looks this week. He's longer than what most people think. If he can make putts, he'll be there come Sunday. Burns, almost bubble boyed him just because I think he will be highly talked about, potentially highly owned. He's one of the top 30 in bent putting, 2nd in 2021 last year at this course, 3 shots behind Case Lee. 3rd in birdie or better, 2nd in par 5 DK. For the price difference, I definitely, compared to some of those 10K guys, I don't mind taking him. Next, Willie Z. It'd be interesting to see how people, if he gets talked up a lot. And these guys are 93, 94, 9,500. So they're all right there. They could be pivots. Maybe one gets squeezed out this week. We'll see. Willie is 6th at the Masters, 17th here last year, like I mentioned. for him, it just comes down to can he gain enough putting to, he's number one ball striking, number one in approach. Can he get enough there to score and be up there in contention come Sunday? Bubble boy for me is JT. I won't play, I don't think, because I think JT Burns is going to be an extremely popular starting spot. And I don't think I play both. I think JT will be the most talked up, hyped in the 10K range. And if that's true, then I'll move off to some way. I may not even play anybody in the 10K range. We'll see. If for some reason I think he's not going to get the ownership that he probably, because Scheffler's there, and I wonder if people just go, how long can I keep fading Scheffler? Scheffler doesn't rank out very well when I looked at some of these course fits and Birdie Fest, stuff like that. He was 47th here last year, so nothing special. If I can get JT just an okay ownership, I'll be in. I don't mind that at all. We'll see how that plays out, but that's why he's the bubble boy. 8K range, Vegas, played him last week, loved him last week. Got a little nervous with the first time back from the elbow. I went MME only with him, but I did like him. Had him in the ride-up. 9th here last year, 15th last week. Looked fine. The elbow or whatever it was, it didn't seem to bother him at all. 6th in approach, 7th in birdie or better, 13th in par 5 DK scoring. I like everything about Vegas this week. Probably bettable as well. $8,400. I'll have some of him. Kokrak, definitely hadn't seen him in a few weeks. 14th at the Masters, 35th at RBC. Form's coming in a little bit better. 9th in putting, 24th in course fit. I like everything about him, really. I think he could get hot here. We know he can get hot with the putter, especially these pure mint greens. I like him 8,300. After that, I could fade the rest of it and be okay with it. The two guys I have, you could flip and flop between third and Bubble Boy because it really will come down to ownership for me. My third pick is Aaron Wise. I wonder how high he'll be owned. Coming in with the 21st and a 6th. He won the Byron back at 18 at the what was that other course? The other course that we just left. No longer doing that. We were there the year he won it, and so he can go low, and that was a lower scoring field as well. 55th here last year though. Ownership will matter to him, but my bubble boy is Gooch because I think Gooch will be talked up a lot. He's Oklahoma State boy. It's not really in the area, but familiar with down here and how it plays. 39th last year, 14th at the Masters, 15th in par 5 DK scoring, 21st in approach, 32nd in birdie or better. So great iron player. If he gets hot with the putter, he can fill it up. I do like Gooch, but that same with JT is like it's the ownership play. So is he, is he going to be super high on? I just don't want too many of those deals. And I say all that to say last week I talked myself out of Homa and Bradley because of that same deal. But as of now, that's the only negative for me on Gooch. 7K range, I like a lot of guys in the 7K. All 4 of my gut feel plays are in the 7K range as well. So I'll be heavy in the 7K, and I'll just probably pick the few up top that I want to take chances on in that 9-10K range. Sprinkle in a couple 8K like I mentioned. And then I'll live in that 7K range and won't go down to the 6K range a whole lot. There are some guys I do like, but I like a lot of these guys in the 7K range. Kick it off with Mitchell. Keith, 7,500. 26th here last year. 20 in par 5 DK scoring. 21st in birdie or better. 2nd in good drives. 24th in opportunities. He's midfield putting. Definitely has done better on Bermuda, but he's not horrible. Got 26th here last year, so that's not bad, especially at his price. I mean, for 7,600, we know he can win. He can win a tournament. 7,500. So I like Mitchell this week. Mito, we know we've had some of the injury concerns. That'd probably be the only thing I said to watch out on. But I like him, 7,600. I do worry a little bit about can he get up there in a birdie fest. He tends to be more on the, like I'd have loved him last week if he wouldn't have withdrawn. Grind it out. But he is 26th in birdie or better, 22nd in approach, 10th in good drive, 26th at the RBC. I don't know if he makes a core play, but he definitely is up there. One of my favorites, be heavy on MME. Could do a 3 max. We'll kind of see. He'll be one I want to see what the deep dive numbers show me there as well. Noren, 7,900. Love this price. 21st here last year. 12th in approach. 16th in birdie or better. 4th in bent putting. I like him a lot this week. So Noren, 7,900, a guy I'll probably be heavy on. And then Patton Kazire, like him, 3rd here last year, 26th at RBC, 10th in approach, 8th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 18th in birdie or better. Nothing I hate about this at all. 7,100, super cheap price. I definitely love him. Could see him being a big piece of my core this week as well. The only reason why he's on Bubble Boy is he kind of can get talked about a Texas narrative, but he's been playing good everywhere, but could see some ownership. I just don't. I think the 7K range back to that. Excuse me. We have 42 guys again. It'll get spread out, and I don't know if we see anybody in 15% or more. Actually, I think everybody will probably be under 15% with this many people in there to choose from. 6K range, I like Swafford. He's a guy that probably a little more boomer bust, but missed cut here last year, coming in on 2 good finishes, 30th at the Masters, 35th at RBC. He is top 33 or better in all 5 of the stat categories I'm looking at. 21st, 33rd, 10th, 14th, 22nd. I mean, he's a guy that can hit. He can miss cut, no doubt about it. We saw it last year. We've seen it at times, but he's a guy I'm okay taking a chance on at that price. Ryder, definitely $6,700. Missed cut last year, missed cut RBC. I think he'll be a under the radar type deal, but we know he can. He's 18th in bent putting, 24th in birdie or better, 7th in par 5 DK scoring, and 30th in opportunities inside 18 feet. I like a lot of things about that, especially for a $6,700 guy that he can be in my pool as well. Smotherman, not going to get off him. Familiar with the area as well. 25th at Wells Fargo. He has ups and downs. He can't put it all together. He's probably a guy that I'd like to see score a little bit more. At his price, though, I'm probably okay taking a chance there. 9th in approach in the field. Doesn't have to worry about the tee as much this week, so I don't hate that as well. A guy I really like, and a guy I do think that could be popular, it's the only reason I have him as a bubble boy, is Hank Lebioda. 17th here last year, coming in with 2 good finishes. Made cut at the Mexico, finished 29th. 41st last week. 19th in par 5. 11th in birdie or better. 8th in putting. So he's got that scoring upside, and he likes putting on bent greens. I really like him a lot this week. I'm hoping he doesn't get talked up too much. We will see. So my fade of the week is going to be Scheffler. I just don't know by Wednesday if I'm going to come on here and be like, well, no one's really going to play him. I don't know that. I mean, it's hard to go off of him because of how well he's been playing. But if he has any kind of that ownership, 15% or more at 10-9 in this field this week, where I think he's more – I mean, they're all here to win, no doubt about it, but more of a tune-up, get ready, see how the game is for next week, per se, at a course he loves at Southern. He's a guy that I don't plan on having any of. But if I'm shocked by Wednesday and he's, 8% or something, well, that may be a different story. I definitely will address that on that pod like I normally do. You just never know there. Sleeper of the week, I kind of went back and forth because I was trying to figure out who's going to be high owned, who's going to be low owned. This early is always a little bit difficult for me. I like Straka, and I don't know how high, he burned a lot of people last week. 3rd at RBC, 30th at the Masters, 26th here last year. Even to the field, putting wise, he's in that range, $7,600, where there's a lot of people there. And so his ownership could get pressed down, plus the whole, burned me last week type of deal. And he burned me. I'm all on that. Maybe I come back Wednesday and go, nope, everybody loves Straka again, and I'll switch that sleeper. But he's a guy I'm not afraid to stick on, and if he's 5 to 7, 8%, I'll stay there. I'll go back to him. I don't mind him at all. Gut feel plays this week. I like Kitayama. I'll go back there once again. He is $7,400. Why am I not seeing Kurt Kitayama? Oh, there we are. He's higher, a little higher. That's why I missed him. 2nd at Mexico, 15th last week. He's just in a groove. He's on fire. He's playing well. I'll ride that for him. I don't know how again, he's in that 7K range that I think a lot of people are going to like. Don't think it'll be too high owned, but I will be on him. McNeely, 17th in Bermuda putting. I think his price seems a little cheap, but, doesn't really matter. $7,800, 26th at the RBC. 7th in opportunities at 18 feet. He can light it up. We know that. We need that at this type of event. I think most people will see him more as a California type guy, but he's 17th in bent putting in the model pool, so he's just fine on those. Seamus Power, another guy, high on last week. Missed the cut. Was 9th here last year. 15th in putting. 9th in birdie or better, 18th in opportunities inside 18 feet. I'm hoping the miscut just keeps people off of him because I do like him a lot at 7,900. And then CT Pan, he's just playing really good right now. 42nd at RBC, 29th in Mexico, 15th at Wells Fargo, 13th in approach. The birdie or better in par 5 worries me a little. That's the long. I'm hoping he bumps up a little bit when we pull a deep dive and we look at some of that short-term stuff with the streak he's been on right now. One of the better recent form players in the field that we have, and that's a pretty good price at $7,300. Betting top 5 of the pop and 2 long shots provided by Prize Picks. That link is in the description. Use the code GUP, G-U-P. Dollar for dollar match up to $100 right now. I like Neiman, 25 to 1. I don't know how low I'm going to go on the board this week. I like Willie Z, 20 to 1. I feel that's a fair number. May not get that low, but I do like those right out the gate. Mito, 66 to 1. Noren, 66 to 1. Kokrak, 50 to 1. Can find better prices elsewhere, different type. I just pull one book for this, but a lot of these guys sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse. Make sure you shop around. 2 long shots I like. Kazire, 100 to 1. And then Lebiota, 150 to 1. I have already bet. That's an official bet. Go ahead and lock that in. Probably could do a top 5, top 20 there as well. But 150 to 1 on Hank, I definitely like. I will have my one and done on Wednesday like I normally do. I'll give you 5 guys, my final 5 that I'll pick 3 from. Kenny had his his eye, it wasn't surgery. It was like stuff they did to step 1 of that today. I talked to him a little earlier. He's doing well. His article will be out in the morning. I don't know if he's ready to get back into the whole, E9 deal, but if he is, I definitely will get on with him. And then next week, hopefully for the PGA Championship, we can get together. Like I said, PGA Champ gets you 30% off any package right now. If you use that code, it's yours for life. You can upgrade. You still get that 30% off. It's the biggest discount we ever do for the year, always around the majors. And it includes a 7-day risk-free trial. So go check us out. We got a lot of things down the road coming. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys have a blessed Monday night. Be safe out there, and I will talk to you guys on Wednesday.